Welcome once again to Conscripted, episode 49. We rejoin the party on the 3rd of Riorum. And where do we rejoin the party?
In the caves after destroying this boss.
Was he friendly?
Very friendly. He tried to kiss me in round 1, I believe.
And he was almost successful too if it weren't for those damn kids.
Whoa. Oh, you mean something else.
All right. But what ultimately happened last session beyond that?
We got a bunch of piles of gold, and we found out what happened to the group the military had sent before us.
Well, not piles of gold.
Sapphires and mithril.
We have a traitor among us.
Yeah, Aravos.
Yeah, Cassius trying to murder one of his own party members.
Right. It's not
He tried to murder me too. He shot me like 8 times.
No,
True.
first of all, it was like once, and I missed because I'm bad at shooting. Well, shooting blind, I guess, which...
All right. The purple has started to fade from around you, as I spoke of last time. You can feel the pressure that down here, both the heat. Well, you can still feel the pressure of the heat, but the pressure of the purple seems to be sort of subsiding, leaving your feeling with your body with just that feeling of like intense warmth gripping each of you. As eventually, Pierre will bring the cart into the opening.
Oh man, am I rolling those hit points now or later?
Yeah, roll your hit points for your new level.
Okay.
Should we just do it when we rest, or I guess? Oh, no. We're just doing it now.
Yeah, might as well just do it now.
Wait a minute.
Just add them to your max. Don't add them to your current.
Oh, okay, that works.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was reading that wrong.
Everybody
Sphinx,
rolled
I'm
really
very
good.
I'm very, very bloody over here, Sphinx.
Oh, right.
Like very, 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 very bloody. Give me a sec. See bubbles. A little bit more, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course.
Why weren't you healing me in combat, Sphinx?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I was across the other room, on the other side of the room.
And she was following the directions of her commander?
No, I thought it was the suggestion thing that was keeping you. Actually.
No. The suggestion thing was when it is most essential, you won't do it. So it basically would have been if Aravos would have gone down and was dying, she would have had to have stand there and watched him die.
Okay. Thank you, Sphinx. It's better. How anybody else deeply injured?
No. Almost got my face bitten off, but it didn't manage to puncture my skin.
Come out of hiding. You're not gonna be killed.
Have I collected my mithril at
Yes.
this point? I want to. We're not on the map, but I want to be away from this area when I become uninvisible.
Okay.
When I become visible.
Okay.
Oh, away from Cassius as well. I guess next to Meldronicus. I'll
Got it.
like appear.
Okay. So you'll appear kind of like behind him beside Meldronicus as he's being healed by Sphinx.
I need healing. That fool Cassius, he's traitorous. He shot me.
Do you show me your wounds?
I'm at 2 HP, goddammit.
I know,
really need
but
to show you.
I mean, you're making a pretty aggressive claim, so like that's what I'm asking. Do you show me your wounds, or you just make?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I've been shot, but I assume like everywhere or something.
All over your chest, basically.
Oh, if I hear this, I'll admit to it. Like, not proud of it, but I'll admit to it. Like, kind of freaked out still.
I'll say it in
Sorry,
character.
Wait, sorry. So that healing starts at the 15?
It starts at the first 15. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Well, none of these things have bullets, so quite definitively your claim is true. Cassius, why? Do you have some explaining to do, sir?
Did anybody else feel that mind controlling effect?
Yeah, well, not with this guy, but earlier, as I said, someone was trying to get into my head and forced me to attack the giants.
So if you were affected by it, by the way, you don't know that you were affected by it. You don't know until the condition happens that you were affected by it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That wasn't at me. Gotcha. Yeah. But like I am aware of like the time frame that it happened ish, right? Like I could tell when I started to get more and more upset.
No, you only know in that moment that you did what you were told to do.
Okay.
But you were definitely not feeling yourself when you did it.
He had a chance to shoot Spinks and me, and he just shot me. I didn't know the mind control was so specific.
Well, in all honesty, if it was gonna choose one of you to shoot, it would have made it an easier choice to shoot you, honestly.
Yeah, I could tell.
If it was trying to control my mind, that would have been the choice that would have made it a lot easier to choose out of the two. And
are you admitting to wanting to kill me?
If I had to choose to shoot between you and Spinks, yes, but I'm not saying that I want to kill you, no. I still don't like you, but I'm still not happy that this happened.
I didn't ask for you to like me, but I'd ask you not to shoot me either.
If I wanted to shoot you, I would have shot you a long time ago.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot more comfortable.
Pierre will walk over to you, Aravos. Ha! I'm surprised you didn't do this sooner. You're a lucky man. Especially down here. There's a lot of crazy things here. And, you know, at one point I found myself leaving the cave. Don't know if you noticed,
Really?
It took me a while to get back here, but for some reason, for a
you're
while, I
backing
just
him.
felt like I should leave.
These guys were buddy-buddy. Of course he's...
You ever tried to back a horse in a carriage down a cave?
No, that's peasantry work. Of course I've never done that.
Yes, of course.
I think it's pretty clear this creature was attempting to mess with all of our heads at some point in time. Cassius isn't trying to murder you right now.
Oh, right now.
So I'm saying,
are a colossal dick.
If he wanted to murder you, like legitimately, why is he not shooting you right now?
Well, he wouldn't be able to kill him in front of all of us, I don't think.
Well, I did shoot him in front of everybody, kind of. But
I mean, you said Spinks was right there, so...
Cassius, what bothers me in all of this isn't that the mind control happened. It's we all were attempted to be influenced, but the things it tried to plant in my mind were related to my own desires in a way. It wasn't fundamentally changing what I wanted. It just was trying to urge me to give in to them. So if it's influence on you was to tell you to kill Erebos, there's something deeper seated going on here, and it concerns me.
Not made it clear that I do not like him?
Why?
Is this news? He's evil as hell and has been doing evil things since the day we met him. Plus, he's a huge dick.
Other than some petty theft earlier on, he hasn't done much. I've already talked to him. If he gets caught stealing again, we will execute him as per military orders.
It's only done like 2 or 3 times, and he's an asshole.
Just remember what happened to Arius. He stole like 1,000 gold, and he almost got killed for it. He's not that stupid. So,
I've
what
had
else
a
do you not
lot of-
like about him?
I've had a lot of experience with evil spellcasters, and yeah, he hasn't done anything really, in my opinion, to.
He
Or
doesn't
being
even
done.
use those types of magic from what I've seen. He's purely a buff and summoner. It's very standard magics.
Well,
So-
he's
So
very
what's realistically do you hate so much about him, Cassius?
He's self-serving and would sell out any one of us if a better opportunity came up.
Has he?
Has a better opportunity come up, he would sell us out to gain whatever he could to become more powerful.
Cassius, at one point in my time with this party, I read a very long book about somebody who made a great deal of terrible decisions in their past. Are you telling me that I should have given that man no benefit of the doubt, that I should have left him right then and there because I can't trust that he can become a better person?
Look, I'm just being honest with you. I don't like him, but if I did want to shoot him, I would have shot him a long time ago. There would have been when he was trying to sacrifice that demigod to gain its powers. I would have shot him then if I wanted to, but I didn't. I don't like him, and if he does something that provokes me to do so, I will do it. I'm not lying to you about this. He's an evil person, and I've seen plenty of them. I'm just tired of it.
I get it. They're everywhere in this world. But we have to pick our battles. We can't have these incidents creeping up into us where people have these sort of suppressed needs and then they come up in the worst moments. You understand?
Battles. I didn't choose to do it. It wasn't a conscious decision.
But you choose to feel this way about him and you choose not to work on it. That is my point.
If you'll excuse me for one moment, Madronicus, I would like to offer up something that maybe perhaps you're not familiar with. Are you aware of animals and what they feel when they feel stuck in a circumstance where danger could be looming behind them at any moment?
I don't.
Yeah, when you like corner a dog that's wounded, or you like corner most other animals that are in a fearful state, they often don't tend just to wait for their demise, but instead will lash out.
Okay, I understand.
What I'm proposing here is that perhaps Mr. Cassius here found himself in a position where he's been very pressured by the situation at hand. There are a lot of things that I see all of you dealing with on a regular basis, and to have somebody that comes along and starts trying to kill things just for the sake of killing them, continues to try to leak assets from other people, continues to use the resources of the group for his own personal needs, but you feel like you have to sit around and just watch it happen, that probably builds a pretty big layer of resentment, wouldn't it? Like, for example, one that maybe inside of you somewhere, there's a desire to just abandon this party and stop chauffeuring them around because maybe what they're doing isn't really for the best of the world. Maybe what they're doing is actually hurting people who have important things in their lives. Fear is a very easy to manipulate thing, wouldn't you agree?
Of course.
And if Cassius is as fearful a man as he is, then perhaps it's much easier to manipulate his fear.
Well, Zeke, you like being mind controlled, right?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Yeah. It was about as much fun as you'd expect. And I didn't know it was happening until it happened.
Well, my main concern is that we weren't able to kill this guy, so maybe from wherever he went, he could do this to us again. That's what concerns me more.
He's not dead?
No.
He was wounded pretty bad, but he isn't dead, unfortunately.
Why are we spending our time here? Shouldn't we be getting out of here? He's not dead. He could come back.
Oh, well, he disappeared because he was so wounded.
But I've seen you. I've come down here and I've watched the two of you, and he gestures to Aravos and Maldronicus, and you're both in better looking order than you were when I first came down here. Who's to say he didn't just wander off somewhere and get himself fully healed back up, and he'll be here in a few moments. We've got to go, don't we?
Well, with the changes from the environment dissipating, I think that we don't need to worry about it right now. At the very least, like, he would be in a weakened state due to that.
I suppose it is true. It seems less purple here.
I'm gonna check on my little plant thing and see how it's doing.
Fine.
Realistically, the atmosphere was its greatest ally versus us. I highly suspect that it would not try to fight us without the atmosphere.
I would actually love for it to come back to so that we could finish it off.
Alas, it's probably not that stupid. It does, after all, devour intelligence.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I suppose we should figure out what we're doing with these people and these things in this cavern and then proceed from there. But I think the sooner we get out of here, the better. Just to get some fresh air.
Yep.
Agreed.
Trees can only do so much.
All right. So yeah, you have the things that I listed that you found, and I will list them for people watching. List it. I put it in the camp notes. And yeah. So there are 4 sets of full plate that are continually cleaning and polishing, that are very highly magical. 4 moderate strength amulets and 4 moderate strength rings. 4 crates of sapphires and a crate of mithril.
4 crates of sapphires?
4 crates of sapphires.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
In relative size amount, how big are all these crates the same size?
About 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet.
I'll try and lift one. Am I able to do it easily, or?
You will. What's your max lift?
For overhead or?
No, just off ground.
920.
So you won't be able to move the mithril. You could probably manage to almost lift the sapphires. Like you might be able to get them very slightly off the ground.
If I help him, would we get anywhere better? My lift off the ground is only 600, though.
The 2 of you can lift it a little bit more. It would probably take 3 of you to get it to a point you could lift it onto the cart.
Anybody have an extended strength boosting spell? I know that the regular bull strength doesn't last more than a minute. I don't know if there's any other spell that actually lasts longer.
I don't know how long boiling blood lasts, but I'm gonna give that to you. But
Wait, what? Oops.
You just accidentally clicked cure mode.
The mouse wasn't anywhere near that, but okay.
I mean, it could have also been a pending.
Realistically, the most impact we could have is Sphinx just making all of us large.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
boiling blood is only 1 round per level.
Okay.
But this is a lot of weight nonetheless. I don't think we could take a lot of it on the carts. If we were going to take it, we might have to take it through the door and store it somewhere and then pick it up later.
Yeah, is there... Maybe there's a bank or something that's close by one of those doors we can go to.
Everybody got extra dimensional space?
Not for this volume of material.
Well, yeah, like, so if it's we're not bringing it super far, like if there's a bank close to one of the places we can get through the door to, we can just drag it.
True. Still would help carry some of the weight, though.
Where does the one in Kazaram go to?
The one in Kazaram does not exist. There's no exit to Kazaram because there's no way that you would be able to get a portal built in Kazaram that connects. There is one to Lukil and one to Krzyzin.
Yeah, Krzyzin would probably definitely have a bank.
Yeah, that's right. Erebos got there with the teleport. I was thinking it was the door. Yeah. Well, I could store it at Boyer's place, but do we really want to venture all the way down to Krzyzin at this point?
Well, I mean, if he'll let us just store the gems in his house for like a day or whatever, we can store them there, get to where we're getting to, and then pull them back out.
I'll try to help them. Load it up.
I mean, I'm sure if we gave them some sort of payment to store it there for a little bit, they'd have no issue. Right.
I suppose I'd be a little bit wary of putting Borya at. We know that the mob is very aggressive in Krzyzin. If we're doing that, I would probably have to ask that I would stay there myself and protect him until you guys reached wherever you needed to go.
Yeah, makes sense.
But this is a lot. I mean, do we really need all of this?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to save the world, right?
Yes, but we already have done a lot. So I don't see. This just seems like a bad temptation personally, but I don't know what everyone feels on the matter.
Well,
I mean,
all I know is I need enough to stop mind affecting stuff.
And I know Arvos wants to do his good deed with opening an orphanage.
True.
What about that is a good deed?
What about opening an orphanage is a good deed? Cassius, I'm done with you.
Oh, yes, an orphanage to Thoth. I'm sorry. I should have been more
specific. Never once said it was an orphanage to Thoth. I don't know what ridiculousness you're saying.
Oh, I just assumed because of how much he's inside your mouth, or how much he comes out of your mouth, I guess.
Cassius, you speak nonsense. Anyways, I'm
Something
surprised.
In common.
Is that like a diss yourself to diss me? Anyways, you're confusing. Your human logic escapes me.
Pierre, do you even have any idea how much of this we would even be able to put on the cart and have the horses still?
That's literally why we haven't even talked about that this entire time, Ra. Where have you been?
Once again, extra dimensional space fixes the issue with the weight.
We've literally been talking about what gateway we're going to be using for the last 10 minutes now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as far as I heard, no one actually asked Pierre how much of it we even could carry on the cart.
Well, I can tell you that I've reinforced the frame many times, and it pretty much is the max I could reinforce it at this point. I could get rid of my golem limbs if it, but then I guess I could put my golem limbs at his place if those are things that would be less likely to get stolen. And then we could put the crates on the cart instead. But
it seems to be an easy solution. You all are very dedicated to the military. It hasn't come across any of your minds. It looks like we'll need the military's help here.
Well, I mean, I actually think that Cassius might have had the best idea of where we send Aldronicus or whoever through to Krzyzin and see if they have a large bag of holding we could get.
I'm pretty sure the military is aware of what's up here. And if we come out empty-handed, I think it would be death for all of us. I think it'd be wise. Perhaps even a negotiation in our time served can be lessened if we bring back the whole of the lifetime for them. I'm thinking of perhaps buying some freedom here.
We could. It is technically ours to do with what we want, but I don't really want. This just seems. I would have never imagined having this much in my lifetime. It makes me uncomfortable.
I am aware of the stipulations, but I think there are exceptions to the rule. I don't think they were sending us here out of the goodness of their hearts for the kingdom.
All I know is that they owe us more than what they're paying us for what we've had to go through.
I don't think they'll see it that way.
Well, then they can go tell their Stormlord who's almost dying, and then they can go get him, because they're in a lot of trouble right now, but they're not making this any easier on us.
Yeah, would it be like a knowledge nobility to know if the military would be expecting money from this?
That is exactly what it would be. That you're not exactly sure in this case, because you don't know how much the military. We don't know the motive that the military had behind wanting people to come up here in the first place.
Because I'm sure that they want the armor and all that back from the other group, but yeah, I'm not sure about the money.
Yeah, you were only told when you were sent up here that your job is to eliminate the threat. And to return information about what was going on with the parties. But it was also kept from you the information surrounding why parties were being sent up here and how they even discovered this in the first place.
Well, there are many solutions here. It seems like we all have slightly different ones.
Do we have a way to message the military now that
you're the one who has it, Cassius?
No, I'm just kind of pantomiming it. I forget which way it goes though. So
suppose with the fog dissipated, I could try. And I pull it out and say Tonelli's name.
Okay. There is like static, like an old tube TV when you're trying to get just to the right channel. But you can see like a somewhat flickering in and out. Tonelli does appear. Where are all of you?
We're still here. It's gone.
Killed or?
It's gone from this plane. Its influence is dissipating, but that's all we could do.
But you're able to communicate from there now. I can tell, although I can't quite see well, and you sound distant.
I can already feel the air thinning very quickly. It feels like the second it left, it was a very rapid reversal of what it's been doing.
Wonder if something about it was anchored to it. You're sure that it left the plane?
It cast the plane shift spell.
Very good.
You all right?
I'm fine. This is part of the distortion. He sounds distant. There's not inflection coming through.
Oh, I thought he sounded like he might have been wounded or something.
I'm not doing a good job, like putting through the way it's supposed to sound.
No, it's fine. It's just it sounds similar to what I would think. Anyways.
Was there other stuff discovered there? Were there stone giants?
There were. And we found... Actually, I forget, because Arius knew who the Pretty Boys was, and I think he told me. What would it be to see if I remember who the Pretty Boys were?
If you think you remember them, you can just talk about them.
Aris definitely told me about them. But I don't know what I don't know like how recognizable like their thing is with like their like shiny armor. It's like
that would have been one of the things Arvos would have mentioned, is that like they kept their armor very clean. Oh, you guys also would have found, I forgot the extra thing that would have keyed it off. They have 4 of the little hair gels that make your hair
I think
stay
I did
wet for
specifically offer
hours.
that to Mal at one point, didn't I, or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, then it appears that the pretty boys were here. They're dead.
Shame. They did well for us.
There's also a lot of big mining operation that was going on here.
Yeah, we had reason to believe that was the case. We've been trying to bring the Giants into the fold. The Giants have an operation. They like the sapphires, and they've started mining, or at least we thought that was all it was. When we sent people to engage them, we noticed the terrain was starting to change. They assured us everything was fine, but people started noticing they seemed kind of hollow when they were talked to.
I'm gonna actually go check, because I remember I'm gonna go try to find one of the ones that was knocked out on the way.
Yeah,
up
there's
here.
one nearby over by where the sapphires are.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go try to check on them, and
That one is the one that's there is dead.
well, I'll go find one of the other ones on the way back. Then
Okay.
to see.
So yeah, there are the 2 that Mal downed but did not kill.
Yeah, if they're up, I'm gonna try to check on them and see if they're still under the effects.
They're not conscious. They
Yeah,
won't be conscious
okay.
for a few hours.
Should we drag one over to get healed, Cassius?
Yeah, I'll try to. Well, yeah, I'll try to bring one of them back.
Okay.
They're probably too heavy just for you, though, right?
They are like about 1,500 pounds.
Oh, that's one round.
Are there any specific other orders you have for us, Tonelli, in regards to this, or do you just trust us to wrap things up appropriately?
Whatever you found there that is yours, or ours, or whomever's, sort it out and make sure it gets appropriately where it's supposed to go. We don't know much about the mining operations. We know that it had something to do with the sapphires you talked about, potentially related to what you were discovering in Kazarum some time ago. And we believe, from what we know of that mountain range, there is mithril in that area. We don't know many details. When we heard the stone giants were becoming more willing to negotiate with people, we started sending people up there to try to bring them in to the system of order here.
Okay. Do you need these pretty boy corpses? Do we just give them a burial by fire out here, or?
Yes, I think at this point, if they've been killed by this thing, that is the best you could do for them. I worry that bringing them back could create other bigger problems. Just make sure their gear gets returned.
Do you know what god they worshipped?
I don't know that they cared for the gods.
Right.
All right, well, if you don't have anything else for us, we will finalize figuring out what we're doing here.
Well, the one thing I did ask if you feel strong enough is there theoretically should be 2 ways into and out of that tunnel. They always came out, if that is where the mining operation was occurring, they always came out of the tunnels from a different angle. We didn't meet them in the area where the reach spread to. So perhaps there's another path that leads into the mountains. That's where we did all the arrangements, was on one of the lower mountain ridges.
appeared to be a dead end. You're saying there's another way in and out of here?
So you haven't really looked a lot yet, but it isn't actually a dead end. Let me take you over to the map real quick and show you. If the map will load. Oh, that's the wrong map. That's why. We want this map. I forget that when I drag it, I don't move with it. So over here actually does not dead end. It goes up and around.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't draw that into the map itself.
Okay. So very well. We will get these to where they need to be. Perhaps we could make another alliance if we get some of these assets back.
I'm glad to hear you've all survived well. Please take care in getting back. We'd hate to pointlessly lose you after your great deal of success.
Yes, we shall do our best. I imagine the journey back will be much easier without the influence, the Kaj reach, as we have coined it.
I would imagine it would be, but sometimes things always move in to balance the equation. Remember, evil never really stops. It just gets replaced.
Yes, I need to think on some things tonight, but that is good insights. We will catch our breaths and talk amongst ourselves, and if I have any further questions, I'll contact you when we're in closer range. Hopefully get a better signal.
Sounds good. I look forward to hearing from you again.
All right, close the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like these sapphires and mithril property of these giants here, huh?
I think if our lives are very important, that there could be... It'll be valuable to them to know that we have resecured our assets. Something Tonelli said kind of reminded me of another fear that Cassius said at some point. And Cassius, have you been telling the Dryads every single thing we've been doing still?
Cassius finishes, as you ask him that, Cassius finishes dragging this giant over to the rest of the group.
I've been giving them brief descriptions of like where we're at and where we're going, but not like details as to what we're doing.
I want to trust the Dryads. I think they helped us, but I don't know if we can trust all the shifters. Do you think there'll be immediate blowback now that this region's been vacated and that they'll try and power seize as much as they can here?
That's a good question. Well, if they're the same shifters we ran into before, I'm hoping that they would know better than trying to do that. Yeah, without at least talking to us.
Maybe perhaps we could make an alliance of sort with the Giants. We've done them a great service here. I don't know if Giants are... What type of role would that be to know like what the behavior of a species is like?
That's still part of a knowledge check.
Which one?
For a giant, it would be they are humanoids, so it is history.
History.
Yes.
Would I know that? Would they be the type that would honor a debt very? Like,
I'm sorry,
much?
technically local, but is your local bonus the same?
It's the same, yeah.
Okay. So giants, traditionally, again, I need to state it this way. Traditionally, a stone giant make sure that's enough. Actually, you're not quite certain with regard to stone giants. If this were hill giants, you'd know, like, hill giants aren't easy to work with. Hill giants are very stubborn. Stone giants, though, you can't quite remember.
Well, we've got a few of them here. We could always just ask them.
I guess wake him up, Sphinx.
Alright.
Sphinx, you can't wake them up.
Oh.
You can't cast the spell on them.
Well, that didn't work.
Huh?
You notice,
wait.
like, Sphinx goes to reach down and touch them, and as she tries to activate her ability, nothing happens.
Sphinx, you just healed me. What's wrong?
They're cursed. Kill them all. Do I have any clue of what could cause
With
this?
a 19, no.
No?
Mm-mm. Nor the
What a
22.
22.
Nope.
Even if we woke them up, you're ready to give up all this wealth? I thought we were deciding to bring this with us.
Well, if it's not ours, it's not ours. I wasn't sure whose this was. I wasn't sure if this thing killed whoever it was, but if Tonelli seems pretty certain that this was the stone giants, then they will come looking for it. If we take it, it will obviously... It won't just disappear. They will know.
Well, it's the price of saving their goddamn cave. They would have had nothing had we not come here. We need
What are you
something.
looking around for?
I'm gonna start rummaging through the stuff that they have to see if they have any way of, like, anything that looks like a potion or something that might heal them.
One sec.
I can attempt to wake them up if you want. I can heal as well.
Yeah, you should give it a try.
Go for it. I mean, I don't expect to find much, but I figured it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah, you'll be able to wake one of them up. And he'll get up, kind of groggy, and then he'll shout, "I'm sorry," and try to attack. It's going to make an attack before it probably gets put down. Okay. 1 sec.
Before you die, is it okay if we take your mithril?
This is on you, Ra. Does a 32 hit?
Yes.
For Cassius, you get the distinct impression while you're watching this happen, you can, like, see in the thing's eyes, it is like horrified and does not want to be doing what it's doing. 12, 20 points of damage.
Jesus.
Well, that hurt.
What you get for helping people.
I'm sorry.
Not as sorry as you're gonna be now.
Do you have any
Besides with no
consecrates?
spell points.
Do you have any consecrates left, Raw? Try that.
All right, I do. I will consecrate the ground underneath him.
Nobody's gonna take him down in the meantime because he's gonna attack again.
I'm gonna blade lash him down and just try and trip him.
Okay.
Keep him tripped up for the second.
Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for Mal to do it because if I do it, there's a good chance he'll probably die.
Say words of encouragement with my 2 spell points.
Yeah, you'll easily be able to trip him, but he will not stay down. He keeps saying, "I'm sorry," as he keeps trying to get up.
Cast the damn spell!
She did.
I did.
Ah!
That's why I was saying it and what I'm saying is it has no effect.
I'll just knock him back out.
Okay.
That's odd.
Its
To say the
influences remain even though it's not on our plane. How powerful
Right.
is this thing?
Or it's not its influences.
What else could it be?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not fulfilled what it's supposed to do. Or is that how that works? I don't know how that spell works.
I don't know, were you told just to shoot our boy here, or?
It felt like if he made any kind of step out of place that to take a shot at him, or to shoot at him rather, not take a shot at him, shoot at him. And then once that happened, it turned off. It like flicked off.
Is the atmosphere mostly cleared in this area by now, or like how fast?
No, it's going away relatively slowly. Like initially, the initial effect, the real heavy pressure, that kind of thinned out very quickly, almost as if being like in close proximity to this thing was creating the pressure, and maybe not necessarily just the air, but the air otherwise has still kind of got that thickness to it.
Did someone make a check to confirm we knew he was plane shifting, or did we just like assume that?
You guys succeeded at the check to know that he was
Oh,
plane shifting.
okay.
You had actually made the check to identify the spell.
Oh, that's right. Is it possible that? I mean, it's possible its influence crosses planes, although I've never heard of magic to do such things.
Does anybody know what spell it was using?
I mean, it wasn't the spell, right? It was some sort of supernatural ability, I believe.
We knew it was neither arcana nor divine, a new type of magic.
Yeah.
Perhaps this magic does cross planes then.
Or perhaps we just have to wait for it to dissipate. It still had to be here to create it, but...
Well, we're all pretty injured and resources expended. Why don't we set up camp here and wait to see if the changes in 8 hours or so?
Well, these giants will wake up and attack
Well, we'll
us.
obviously have to restrain them.
I don't have anything capable of restraining a giant.
We don't have anything in the cart, your golem things, nothing to restrain anything?
Well, I mean, so these sapphires and mithril, they are property of the giants, right? So maybe we should just leave them to their cave for right now. We just head out without the sapphires and mithril, and then rest outside the cave.
That's a lot of. We've spent a lot of wealth getting here. I think we deserve something for coming across this and ridding them of their problem. At the very least.
Not going to hear any arguments out of me.
At minimum, we need to retrieve the military gear, and I'll start taking the armors off of the pretty boys and their rings and stuff and putting them in the cart.
Okay.
I will stand there and like wait to see if they come back to life or whatever, because they're evil and undead, and I don't know anything about undead.
They will not.
So once I move those into the crate, then I don't know. I just look at the others and I said, they're not. This decision is too big for me to make. It's whatever we feel is correct, but they technically aren't ours. Our job is to protect those under our protection. They pay us for that. They don't have to pay us a premium.
They don't even pay. They're not under our protection. So maybe we should preemptively take our taxes then.
Well, also, if it weren't for you knocking them out, they wouldn't even be here to protect.
We don't agree on much, but that is agreeable. I think
Plus-
everyone taking 2 handfuls of mithril is fair.
Plus, I need something to protect me from ever being mind controlled again.
Sinks, Bra, what are your insights? You guys just being quiet for all this?
I feel like I don't have a strong opinion either way, I guess. Don't know much about the giants. And this is all just kind of Yeah, a little kind of a unknown situation as what is the best action to take, I guess. So,
Does anybody know how much Mithril's even worth?
Unrefined Aravos, it is worth probably around 300 to 400 gold per pound.
300 gold per pound.
Can I try to like gauge how much each one of these weighs roughly, or
not even close? No. That's way too big. You need like an exceptionally high gauge score, especially since you've never like worked as a dock worker moving mithril around.
If only there was somebody here that had any kind of thing that was related to mithril and other.
I'll see if I can lift it, because I know approximately.
You cannot lift it.
So more than a ton, definitely over 1,000 pounds here.
Oh, they're big chunks of unrefined mithril. Yeah,
yes.
Never mind. Sorry.
I don't know. This is I really don't know what to do here. I'm uncomfortable, but at the same time I hear everything everyone's saying, but I also don't want to create any angry alliances or conflicts as a result of this.
Well, I have two courses of action that we could take. Well, if we don't want to take the mithril, how much are these gems worth?
The gems are worth substantially more than the mithril. The mithril, even after I could refine it for us, but it would take me time. But the sapphires, just raw by raw, are worth substantially more than unrefined mithril would be.
I don't want a whole lot. I just want enough to be able to protect myself.
You have no idea how much a crate of sapphires could... You've never... you've barely seen handfuls of sapphires, let alone, like, an entire crate of sapphires.
I meant more like individually.
This was for Aravos, because he rolled a 7 on his appraise.
Well, why don't we take what we can with us? If we can find giants here that are not under effects of compulsion or whatever to kill us, then we could potentially have them to try to work towards an alliance of sorts and get them their stuff back. But if they're all compelled to kill us, I don't really think there's any way to even try to make an alliance.
Well, I think that the idea was that we would want to rest and then try more experiments to get them to not want to kill us. Is what I believe the plan was.
I feel rather uncomfortable resting in this cave, but if that's everyone wants to do.
That's what I was saying, was that we would want to rest outside the cave, but that I was saying that we should probably leave this stuff for them as it is theirs.
I'm gonna look over to Pierre and see if he's got anything he wants to say about this.
Pierre is at this point kind of quiet. He sensed a lot of hostility out of Maldronicus and is kind of like keeping his mouth shut until talked to.
If there's... It's basically this. If we're leaving them here, we're just leaving, and there will be no more of it. If we leave it in here, there's no way that we could essentially convince them that we helped. None of these things seem to remember much. Maybe they will. I don't know. That's all speculation. But if these things don't remember us knocking them out, then there's essentially no help. They won't acknowledge that we were the ones that purged their problem for them.
Well, they seem pretty self-aware. They're aware that what they're doing, it seems like. Not that they want to do it, but...
Well, then they'll also be aware of the ones that Ra and Zeke murdered.
Yeah, but they'll also be aware that they're still here. I mean, I think that they know what's going on, but I think that they just don't have any control over it. Otherwise, why would they be apologizing to us as they're swinging at us?
And I only killed that one because I was under the same mind influence that they are under. I believe they'd understand.
I don't know much about stone giants. I don't know how intelligent they are. Zeke, do you want to bet your life on that?
They know how to speak. And they know that they're under some kind of control.
I mean, yeah, and they were apologetic that they were being forced to kill us. That's what makes me wanna.
I think if we want to make an alliance with them, we should stash the gems away somewhere like through the door and then grab them tomorrow. Because I think if we leave them here and then rest outside, if this influence does go away, we won't be able to get back in without fighting. They won't want to hear what we have to say. That is what my gut says, but perhaps they would be reasonable, but I really don't know. It could just be causing more problems than it's worth.
I mean, sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, so, I mean, back to we need to plan how to get it out. I mean, I still think that we should see about getting, like, a nice bag of holding, like Cassius was suggesting.
I don't think any size of bag of holding could support this much.
I doubt you can even use one to carry any of it. Anyways, yes, I agree, Maldronicus. We should drag it off somewhere so that we have proof that we helped do this in any case.
Oh, okay, so are we just dragging them out then?
No, they'd be too heavy for that.
Was it too heavy for dragging? I thought it was too heavy for lifting onto the cart. Well, no, 3 of us could lift it onto the cart.
Correct.
But one of us could drag it, right?
It would probably take 2 of you to drag it. Not including the mithril, it would take 2 of you to drag it.
So, I mean, do we want to just spend...
And dragging it is 5 feet per round.
Well, also depends on where we come out, too, because...
Oh, yes, so we will, like, according to our army military contact, yeah, there might be a close-by exit. So
yeah,
we should check that. Yeah, we should check that out.
What if we use the last of the consecrates, the whatever materials Ra has left, and then we just sleep in here and then see if the fog is cleared by the morning? Is there any difference to sleeping down here versus out there?
Well, the giants will attack us during the night, right? I mean, that's why we would want to get a little bit away from the cave.
The actual biggest thing that you can feel right now is that it's insanely hot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's the heat in here.
Yes.
No, that doesn't bother me. And in fact, I got one more additional fire resist from this level up.
I mean,
I think it's pretty comfortable down here, in fact.
The real issue here is I'm very strapped. I'm exhausted right now. If we got into a fight, I would be next to useless. So if we go this way, as Tonelli was hoping we might, and we do get into a fight, it will be quite dangerous. Whereas if we just go back the other way, we could probably get out fairly safely. Well, then the stone giants might not know what happened.
I mean, I could go look ahead if you want. I'm not too banged up.
I could join you. I'm also not too injured.
It's one of the perks of not being in melee.
Speaking of injuries, Sphinx, does your healing magic work on me right now?
That is a good question.
I can try it.
Yeah, it works just fine.
So that's something else that's concerning. Is a sometimes working, sometimes not working Sphinx.
I mean, she healed all of us. I think it was just with the giants.
But we probably need to know why, right?
Do we?
Hello, friend.
Thank you for the follow.
Or Cassius, are you stealthy? Are you able to just go through there stealth-wise?
I have a reasonable amount of stealth.
So yeah, so maybe you should try and scout that way, like in a stealthy manner.
Oh, I do have your low light vision goggles still, so that'll help. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what's really good with this.
All right. Well, before we'll resolve then what happens with that after we take a short break.